So for today's deep dive, we are heading into the high desert of New Mexico, right beneath the Archuleta Mesa, to investigate a legend that's been around for decades.
The Dulce Base.
Exactly. Our mission is to take these terrifying eyewitness stories and stack them up against the cold, hard science of it all. Geology, engineering.
It's a classic clash. You
Yeah.
have this really visceral human horror on one side.
And just the basic laws of physics on the other.
Right. And to really get the genesis of this fear,
Yeah.
you have to go back to the 1970s. There was a state trooper, Gabe Valdez.
Okay.
He was the one documenting these incredibly sophisticated cattle mutilations all over the region. I mean, we're talking organs removed with surgical precision.
And no blood, right. That was the big thing.
Zero blood on the ground.
Yeah.
And sometimes these non-human fetuses were found nearby.
That sets the stage for some serious paranoia, which leads us to Paul Benowitz, right? A physicist.
Yep. He started tracking these strange electronic signals coming from near Kirtland Air Force Base. He became absolutely convinced they were alien communications coming from under that mesa.
And this is where it gets really strange, because the government didn't try to shut him down.
No, they did the opposite. Agents like Richard Doty from AFOSI, that's the Air Force Office of Special Investigations, they intentionally fed Benowitz fake documents.
They gave him more alien stuff. Why would they do that?
To create a distraction. It was a calculated disinformation campaign. They were likely hiding classified drone tests or maybe some kind of high-frequency radio project.
So the alien story was the perfect cover.
The perfect cover.
Yeah.
But it tragically led to Benowitz's mental breakdown. Before that, though, he cemented the story of an underground alien base in the public mind.
Let's get into the most famous account of what was supposedly in that base. The engineer, Phil Schneider.
Right. His story is incredibly specific. He claimed that in 1979, he was helping build an expansion, Technical Area D1.
Yeah.
And he says they accidentally drilled right into a cavern that was already occupied.
Occupied by who? Or what?
By what he called tall grays. And this, he said, triggered the Dulce War.
A war. An actual firefight.
An actual firefight. Schneider would show people his scars, his missing fingers, and claimed he was hit by some kind of plasma weapon. He said 60 humans died down there.
60? That's a staggering number. And his story is backed up by another source, right? The Dulce Papers.
From a supposed security officer named Thomas Costello. He outlined the whole base, 7 levels deep, all connected by high-speed magnetic shuttles.
But everyone always focuses on one level in particular.
Level 6,
Yeah.
which he called Nightmare Hall.
Just the name is chillin'.
He described these vats, huge vats full of grotesque genetic experiments, like half-human, half-alien embryos. And then there's level 7, where he claimed thousands of humans were kept in cold storage.
Which ties directly into those MyLab theories, military abductions, the idea that people are being used as guinea pigs.
Exactly. It's a terrifying picture.
Okay, so we have the horror stories. But let's pivot. If this base is real, it has to exist in the real world. How does the geology hold up?
It doesn't. That's the huge problem. The Archuleta Mesa is almost all sandstone and shale.
Not the kind of rock you find huge caves in.
No. For massive natural caverns, like Carlsbad, you need limestone. This would have to be entirely man-made, 2.5 miles deep, right into Precambrian crystalline rock.
That's some of the hardest rock on the planet. Tunneling through that with 1970s tech sounds, impossible.
It's more than just difficult. Schneider claimed they used a method called deflagration, basically melting the rock to create a smooth, glass-like finish on the walls.
Melting the rock, what kind of power are we talking about to do that on such a massive scale?
You're asking the right question. You would need a dedicated power source on the scale of a small nuclear reactor running constantly. The energy requirements, the waste disposal, the engineering barriers are just staggering.
So we're left with this massive conflict. You have these detailed, terrifying testimonies on one hand.
And on the other, you have overwhelming geological and engineering evidence saying this place just shouldn't exist, as described.
Which brings us back to the disinformation angle. The official name was supposedly the Rio Arriba Scientific and Technological Underground Auxiliary. Maybe the alien story really is just a smokescreen for something else.
A deeply classified, a human, black budget program.
Whether it houses aliens or advanced drones, the Dulce legend taps into that deep primal fear of being used, of being an experiment.
And that really brings us to the final question for you to think about.
Given the sheer impossibility of the engineering, what's the greater secret at Dulce? Is it the massive, unprecedented power source you'd need to just melt a mountain of rock?
Or is it the horrifying